Oh, hello there. My name is Rangan. I'm making an application for the MasterChef Asia program. A little bit about myself and how I got into cooking. I am basically an electrical engineer who graduated from Mumbai University and immediately after that took up a job. As I used to go to work, I used to come across a particular institution called the Thangam Philip Institute of Catering. This is in Kettle Road in Mumbai. It interested me a great deal to find out what these guys are doing. So I went in to find out, and I found that they used to decorate cakes, they used to learn how to serve, what kind of dishes for table decoration, and so on, which interested me a great deal. I went in to find out whether they would accept me as a part-time student, and they declined, which actually set me off to more serious stuff in the area of cooking. I ran around, and at that particular point in time there was a home appliance which went by the name of Nikitasha Kitchenette. So I purchased one, and that's where I started my cooking. The first dish I ever made was called the Victoria Sponge. The first attempt, of course, was a total disaster. When I worked on it, I improved, and I knew I got better because I used to make pizzas much better than the ones that they used to serve at the Trattoria in the Hotel President in Cuthbert's. And it went on. I kept graduating from baking into grilling, into understanding various kinds of foods, and I've been working on it for the past 30 odd years. I traveled quite a bit, and I went to various countries. I tasted a lot of kinds of food. I went to find out what it contained, the taste, the flavors, and that's how it started. What I'm desiring now in terms of my cooking career is to move to various kinds of different kinds of cuisine and taste all of that and see whether I can replicate the same thing myself. I will now introduce you to my signature dish, which is fundamentally a fusion of Western cooking with Indian spices. I start with cracked wheat, which I soak in water for a period of about half an hour. After soaking it for half an hour, you just see that a fair amount of starch comes out. So you keep washing off the starch and take out the sediment, which is the cracked grain itself, which is reasonably soft and spongy. Now you need to load that into a steamer. Now steamers in India are not very easy to come by. In the state where I come from, which is Kerala, there is a very nice steamed dish called puttu. Now puttu is traditionally made in a piece of bamboo which is hollow. It is stuffed with the ingredients and left for steaming. Getting bamboo in Bombay is not a very easy task, but there is a device called the puttu maker which can be adapted to Indian kitchens. A puttu maker is made of metal. It looks something like this. It has a lid which has a number of holes, and inside there is a small little plate which has holes again, which permits the distribution of the steam. The bottom side of the puttu maker contains this particular tube which can be fitted directly on top of a pressure cooker, which directs heavy pressure steam to be passed through the ingredient which is in this part and then steam the dishes out. The way I make it is, I take out my wheat, I strain out all the water after washing it, and then I stuff the puttu maker with wheat. I then mount it on top of a pressure cooker half filled with water at full heat so that I get a strong force of steam going through the puttu maker. I leave that for about 30 minutes, by which time the wheat is adequately cooked. I move over to make the sauces. The sauce is made with a white kidney bean, slightly large in size. The name for that in Mumbai is called double B. Slightly difficult to cook because it needs a huge amount of soaking. So I soak it in water for approximately 12 hours. I take it out, put it in a pressure cooker and cook it for about 7 minutes. When it comes out, you find that the kidney beans are soft. Then for purpose of making the sauce, I use a little bit of skimmed milk. Into that I dissolve grated cheese. Now the cheese that you use could be very aromatic, which adds a fair amount of flavor to the entire dish. When you dissolve the entire thing into the milk, you could use a little thickening agent like corn flour and water, add a little bit of salt and let it simmer for about 4 minutes. After that, you find that the sauce is adequately thickened. You take that out, cool it and mount it into small little ceramic cups. The serving is done by mounting the wheat tossed with ground mint and olive oil, a touch of salt. Press it into a cup and up in the cup in the middle of a plate, which leaves a nice shape in the form of a dome. Keep the cup filled with the sauce by the side. The cake could be decorated by the side with carrot curls or halved cherry tomatoes, which gives it an adequate amount of presentation. With that, I suggest that you try it out yourself. This particular dish is very low in calories and is probably the people who keep diets is probably a dream come true because it fills them up and at the same time it's very low in calorific value. With that, I will end my discourse on my favorite course and hope to hear from you. Thank you.